didn't make it as a water truck driver in North Dakota, and why you're probably not going to either. All right, this isn't to discourage anybody. I just want y'all to know what you're getting into. I wish I had seen this video before I went up there. This is numbers, this is math. Can't argue with this. There are some later videos I might make that are about some things that are subjective, but this is the math. Can't argue with it. All right, if you're making 24 bucks an hour like I was, and you work 12 hours as scheduled, they're never short on work, that comes to $2,112 for your 6-week average. Then every 7th week you're gonna make only $1,680, because every 7th week you're only gonna have a 5-day work week on a 5-1 schedule. So that brings your average to $1,970. Now if you go home every 9 weeks, you go home for 10 days, that's going to bring I estimate that to bring your average pay down to $1,643. So out of that $1,643, you still got to pay for they're very proud of their groceries up in North Dakota. You got to pay a premium on that. They're very proud of their restaurants. You got to pay a premium on that. You got airfare. If you got to fly home, or you're putting wear on your vehicle to get home. And then plus you're spending 2 of your 10 days, you're going to be spending in an airport or driving. Any expenses that you got that you're incurring at home, like say having to pay somebody to cut your grass, you're going to have to pay for that out of that $1,643. So, it ain't like necessarily all it's cracked up to be. It ain't no get rich quick thing. I'm not trying to discourage anybody, but really, if you got if you're making $1,500, unless you're planning on doing this long term, I'm gonna tell you who it's for. Who should go up there? Somebody that's all in. That means like somebody that's willing to move up there, not maintain a residence where they're from, but permanently move to North Dakota. And are they open to being an owner operator? Because what a company driver can make up there, I just don't see it being worth it unless you're there for the long term. Now there's some owner operators up there that I'm sure are killing it, but you're just not gonna make that much as a company driver, and it's way harder work than what you're gonna do over the road. Another thing you got to consider is they don't just always have the work. I was up there, things were slow. I wasn't getting 12-hour shifts. I didn't hang around long. I'll be honest with that. I saw a few days where I didn't get a shift, and I was sitting in that man camp making no money, and I was looking for a reason to leave anyways, and they gave it to me. Another thing, if you're from down south like I am, if you take a vehicle up there, it's probably going to be rusted out in a few years. That's something we don't have to worry about down here. But if you got a pickup truck that you like and you're planning on fixing it up and keeping it for a while, if you take it up there, it's gonna rust out on you. So you gotta consider that as well. If you're making $1,000 a week or better where you're at, I wouldn't move, especially if you got a local job. I would just stick with that and try to figure out how to do something. Now I understand, like another person this might be for as a company driver is, say you're up to your neck in debt and you just can't fathom any type of possibility of getting out of debt to start a business or learn a new skill besides trucking. It might be a way for you to get your head out from underwater. Oh, and one other thing I will say is that 24 bucks an hour, that was starting pay. So, if you're willing to be up there for the long haul, I'm sure you're going to get more than that. And probably within a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, if you're doing a good job, you'll be able to negotiate more than that. But if you're not, it's just not worth the hassle. So basically, to sum it up, if you can go up there, and I'm not saying sell your house before you even go out there to check it out, but if you know you're not open to moving up there permanently, I wouldn't go. And you probably really need to own a truck for it to be worth moving up there. But for now, I'm gonna be driving that old Volvo, probably hauling containers around here in Mississippi. I might, with some luck, if it doesn't fall apart, I might be making as much as a decent paid water truck driver up there. I was gonna make one long video telling all the ins and outs of it, but right now I'm gonna cut it. Just the money that we was talking about today. I'll make some more talking about some other things that you may not have considered.